In the beginning, using the beer glass filtered night, Eve roams the city of Eden, sipping white wine dew collected from the feathers of first flight doves, hidden in a clear plastic holy grail Jesus never blessed. Her bare feet traces along old dirt paths, now dumped with cracked cement. Her soles feel the vibrations of fossilized shoestring ivy, thigh-high yellow umbrellas, and glowing dandelion seeds joyriding the wind. Goosebumps ripple the curves of her wild maiden hips at the graze from the low fleeting cotton clouds of her father's menagerie. Eve drunk dances through swing set chains, drags her toes against shattered wood chips, kneels in the drying dying grass along the highway. On the first night, trespassing into Eden's wastelands, a contoured metal snake hooks at the base of Eve's breast, puncturing the oak of knowledge bark, scarred there when God stitched an extra rib into her chest. Maple syrup leaks. Eve falls. A hand smeared with motor oil, fingerprints imitating God, presses into her wound. Legs touching, still strangers. Adam kisses Eve. She blames the wine and the false mintaka shine to his skin. Adam unveils his cave to Eve, hidden behind tapestries. Together they climb the carpenter's first ladder. Makeshift stars tacked against the wall, mattress thrown into the corner, the wild thumping heavy bass jungle cries, vibrating the floor. A comforter spilling lavender petals hangs off the edge. Adam touches Eve's wound, fingers trickling up to her breast, and Eve feels that it is good. On the second night, Adam breaks the vaults that separates their Edens, clips back the fences for Eve's safe travel. The street-lit city border fades amongst Adam's abandoned wax feathers, shattered vodka bottles, and Playboy magazines. Eve climbs the ladder on loan to Adam's cave. His arm ensnares the back of her neck. His marble-sculpted counterfeit hands direct her thighs. Their bodies clank together. Eve locks her eyes shut. Adam picks up the tempo of Eden's banshee calls. Eve's nails scrape against the bark below Adam's shoulder blades where God broke and stole away his rib. As the moon pushes away the tapestries, a wind forces them to cover in the blankets. Adam lays on his stomach. Eve bends down to kiss the syrup sweat bleeding from the bark of his scar. At the taste, her eyes are pried wide open, seeing good and evil for the first time. Crawling into Adam's arms, she teases, "I am as good as God." By the third night, Adam's Eden seduces Eve. God's squirrels bite her calves, the sparrows tug her hair. In the beginning, Adam loved us too. Mockingbirds flutter against her earlobes. Eve plucks feathers faded yellow from wax out of the swing-set chains. Storm clouds drift. Eve tangles feathers into her raven hair. Adam meets her at their fallen wall, leaning against the metal snake's old tilted post. His smile matches the moon. God is the only one who needs rest. The fourth night, while the moon shifts down into Eden's skyline, Eve's arms and legs intertwine to a pillow, eyes wide open. The stars disappear. Thunder and rain flood outside. Sunflowers wave around the outline of her body, lulling her to sleep. Her father's menagerie blankets her limbs to her sides. Adam sits cross-legged on his mattress, just to the left of his scar. His fingers swing to his Just to the left of his scar, his fingers indent his skin. After a quick vodka swig to his blood veins, he pushes again, his rib still missing. For 2 more nights, the flood parts them. On God's final night of sleep, Eve catches a dandelion seed in the palm of her hand, carrying it to Adam, her cheeks drunk red, her feet skid against the slick sidewalk, flood water still running. "Adam!" she calls out, ankles sinking into mud. She stops at the edge. Adam's Eden is now collapsed ocean tides. His eyes fixate on the skeletal metal buildings where God's angels rest, the swing sets, and green grass growing alongside busy highways. "Look." Eve releases the dandelion. The wind catches it, pushing it off to the cracked night sky, disappearing behind the dimmest of all moonshines. "I'm sorry." Adam shuts his eyes, unable to handle the sight of good and evil for the first time. "But I need that rib back from you. It was never yours to begin with."